It's the internet. You're busy. Let's do this. I'm Jeff Grubb with GamesBeat.com, and I am looking at the Logitech G502 Hero. This is an updated version of Logitech's G502. I've actually never really used their 502 before, even though I know it's an extremely popular mouse. But this is their update. I've been using the, let's you know what? We can switch to it right now. Let's check it out. This is the 502 right here. I've been using the 903 with a their like power play pad, so it's wireless but wireless power as well, so you never have to charge it. That's delightful. I love that so much. And I really like the 902 because of how long it is. It really is comfortable for my fingers. I could just like let them relax, and they still fall right on the mouse in a way that I find very satisfying. With the 502, it's not quite as, I mean, maybe it's as long, but they slope down a little bit more. So my fingers kind of have to like drop down a little bit more, and I don't, maybe it's just got a bigger butt back here, and that's what's happening. But the point is, maybe not, for me, not like as exquisitely comfortable as the 902 or 903, but the 502 Hero is still, I mean, it's still a great mouse all around. It feels great. I really like this mouse. I think we can kind of go over some of the things that they've made improvements to. I think the big thing is they've added the latest sensor that they've been putting in some of their other stuff. Everyone uses the PixArt, I think is what it is, sensor company to make their stuff, but Logitech has always worked directly with that company to build these sensors, and that's why it always seems like their mice have the best versions of these sensors and are the best implemented. At least it seems that way. I've had really good luck with some other mice from other companies. I really like the Razer Death Ad or even its the equivalent to this one, which is the Lance Head. No, I can't remember, but it has the clutch like this one does. I like those. They're all using the sensor from the same company, so theoretically they should be all be able to do pretty similar stuff when it comes down to accuracy and precision. But, the 502, no bones about it. It has great accuracy and precision, and it feels great. So that new sensor, it's a 1600 DPI, or 16,000 DPI, pixel precise accuracy is kind of how Logitech describes it. The DPI doesn't matter so much as just how accurate that, the tick rate is. Like I think 1,000 hertz or something like that is the highest option on most mice. Most default to 500. And you just want to make sure that at 1,000 hertz, it's reading all that stuff. And it seems like these mice, in this category have all been able to do that in a way where, precision as a quality of measurement of mice is becoming a little bit more difficult because they are all sort of reaching this theoretical threshold of human capability to keep up with that precision. So yeah, it is a precise sensor. Let's see here. Let me bring it down. Get this out of the way. So yeah, I think in general it's also comfortable, like I was talking about. Maybe not quite as it might not be angled the exact way I want, but it's still, I think, going to be one that it's very easy to get used to. It just works. I like the thumb rest. The thumb rest is important because of the clutch, and I guess we can get into some of these features now. So, as you might expect, the mouse has many of the things that are becoming standard. It has the two side buttons here. It has a mouse wheel with a click, of course, and it has Logitech's sort of fidget spinner thing where you can click this button, and now it's a clicky wheel. If you click it again, it just spins forever and ever and ever, and I really like that when I'm bored. Except for it still, of course, registers as a scroll wheel, so it still will scroll web pages and stuff when I do that. Then it has this button right here, which is just the sensitivity toggle. It'll go through the presets in order. It doesn't have an up and down button, which is something you'll find here. It's left and right, but this will go. Let me turn this on just so you can see the difference. This will go from that, we're going all the way over to the edge, so it's like as sensitive as possible. And now it's at 3. Hit it again, it's at 2. Hit it again, it's 1. And so it's got all those. It tells you where it's at, and you can go back and forth whenever you want. The 502 just sort of bounces between these three. So that's fine. I honestly usually wouldn't use more than 3 presets. I have one for working, I have one for shooters, and I have one for when I'm doing bad at shooters and I want to try a different sensitivity. That's where I'm at. You may be different, but you know, I think most people probably aren't going to be using more than 3. That's fine. Other features, you know, that it's got the lighting, and it's yeah. There's not much else. I mean, there's the clutch. That's the big thing. That's the last thing. So the clutch is, like I said, I haven't used the 502 before. This probably isn't new. I know it's been on other mice. I'm sure Logitech has had it, but I mean, it's one of those things where every time I use a mouse with a clutch, I'm like, oh yeah, that's really awesome. So the clutch is basically a way to turn down your sensitivity to an exceptional degree at the touch of a button. It is pushed to lose sensitivity. And the reason you want to do this is if you're using a sniper rifle and you're looking down sights and you don't want to move half an inch with your mouse and have the cursor fly all the way across to the other side of the screen, you just click the clutch, and now you're doing very precise, fine movements, even if you are moving your mouse a great deal more. This is, I mean, it's such a good idea because there are so many games where aim down sights feels way different than aiming from the hip. And if you can get this button set up, just like all this is done in the Logitech gaming software, if you get this button set up the way you like for aiming down sights of certain sniper rifles or even, you know, assault rifles or whatever, or in other games, you know, where precise and not just like accurate, but like very detailed, minute movements of the mouse cursor matter, this button's going to make a huge difference in the quality of life for you in that game. I've definitely loved using it in, you know, PUBG and a few other shooters. It's been, you know, not necessarily a lifesaver, but it's been the kind of thing where it's like, oh, I hate going out without this when I try other mice. So, yes, very cool. It is, of course, a wired mouse. I am just an absolute huge fan of the way wireless technology has improved in the last year or two. And that's why I'm using the G502. It is a great mouse. It's great, and all of Logitech's wireless mice now are great. They're using that same adaptive wireless frequency technology that, again, everyone in the space is using. Razer has some, a few others do, and the thing with this is it never loses connection. It never feels like it's losing any of your inputs. And with the power mat or the power play mat for this one, that's the wireless charging one, the sensor goes like right here. Like it's like right in front of where you're using the mouse. So the connection between the mouse and the sensor is like 6 inches away. So wireless is not like some, I don't think it should be a dirty word for gaming mice anymore. You know, at least when you're playing at home and you're trying to be comfortable more than trying to, rank number one. At the same time, nothing wrong with an old-fashioned wired mouse, of course. I mean, this is going to be tournament ready and all that stuff if you're going to be taking it someplace. And I find the cable is nice. I think that's a big improvement. I've used some Logitech cables in the past that I haven't been happy with. They just seem to maybe wear out and they would get caught on stuff. I had my problems. This one seems like a big improvement. It seems like it's going to last longer. We'll see how that does. But it just has so much more give here. In a way that feels like it's supposed to. Like it's supposed to be able to take that amount of bend and just bounce right back into shape, and it's not doing any wearing or fraying of the rubber. And then the cable itself is, it's a threaded cable just like normal, but it slides right over parts of my table in a way that other cables usually don't. They usually get caught, and it feels very gross when you're in the middle of a game and your mouse gets tugged because you are pulling against it and the cable gets stuck on something. I despise that feeling, so I am happy that this hasn't happened with this one yet, and I think it just all comes down to the way the cable is threaded. I could be wrong about that. Maybe there's some other magic happening. Maybe it's just a slippery material that they used. Maybe it's a combination of these things. I don't know. I'm just kind of reporting and reviewing from an end-user scenario. Yeah, so it's a great mouse. There's one other thing, of course, is oh god, what did I do with them? There are weights that go on the bottom of this thing. There they are. It blends in with my table because it's black. Comes with this thing. If you pop this thing open, and you know what? How about we pop back up here? Hello, hi, I missed you. Weights. So Logitech is used to putting weights in their mice. If you don't get the power play mat for this, like right now there is a wireless battery sort of thing in here that charges up and connects to the power mat and gets the radio frequency charge or whatever it is in here. But if you didn't have that in here, you could replace it with a weight that is the same shape so that it keeps its sort of the feel that it's supposed to have. That is what this is all about. This is about you dialing in the mouse to what you think it's supposed to have. Right now I have one weight in here, and each of these are 3.6 grams. So you're just adding, a few grams at a time to see like where you want it. If you add in all of these, which I've done, the mouse becomes very heavy, hefty, and it feels nice when you're moving it around. For me, lifting it up to like quickly adjust where it is on the mouse pad, that was the problem for me. I recently hurt my wrist, or my wrist. Like, this is all fucked all through here because of just too much switch and too much. I was using a keyboard on the ground, like I was laying down like a lazy piece of crap, and I was like just kind of like bending my wrist up for like 5 minutes, honestly. And afterwards, I'm like, oh man, I gotta take the rest of the day off because my hands hurt. So in that case, lifting this mouse up with all of these weights in, it was just enough where I'm like, oh, that's kind of straining my wrist in a way that I probably just shouldn't be right now. So I took almost all of them out, left one in, and now it feels great. It feels perfect. So it gives you that opportunity to dial it in. It is a separate thing now. This is a responsibility Logitech has given me now. I gotta take care of this. I gotta find a safe place to keep it if I ever want to add more weight. That's annoying. I don't necessarily love that, but it's just an option. Who cares? You throw it in a drawer, and if you need more weight, which you shouldn't, you probably should just be able to dial it in pretty quickly on your first day. You just go back and you find it and you put more in. Otherwise, you just put in the weight you want, and then you could just toss this. Get rid of it if you want, if you don't think you'll need more weight. It's precious metal, I'm sure. Maybe sell it on the tertiary markets. Okay, again, rambling on, so let's wrap this up. So the G502 Hero, it is it's fully programmable, works with Logitech's gaming software. It's just an all-around really good mouse. I am a big fan. I love the clutch. I love the feel. I love this clicky mouse feel. Feels really good. Has a nice sound to it. I love to do that just nonstop because I'm a nerd. Yeah, and then I think it looks good. I think overall it's a pretty cool looking mouse. It is very much in the gaming mouse wheelhouse, which is a rhyme that I did not intend to do, even though I could hear it coming in my head. It is, it's like sharp edges and all these like spaceship parts. Look at it. It's got triangles. It's intense. And there is something to be said for that sort of thing. There is some appeal to the way that looks. I think I'm usually not a huge fan of it. Like, I like the Logitech G Pro. That's like just a simple looking mouse. It looks like just any other consumer electronics, and it's not trying to stand out. This is trying to stand out, but at the same time, I think it does it in a way that is, I want to say subtle, but that's not. I mean, it stands out and it's subtle. Doesn't make sense, but it kind of is. It doesn't maybe go overboard in the way that it could. It is trying to look like a sleek spaceship design or sci-fi design, and it has these two blades out front and stuff like that. And that's all of that is it is a lot. But I think that maybe it's the dark color scheme, like the black scheme, and the way the light sort of does bounce off each of these parts differently. But it's still overall within like this very limited dynamic range of black. It still kind of looks professional and nice, and I like it. And maybe the fact that it's just very limited in its color of RGB. Although I will say, if you're going to put RGB in a mouse, I don't want it to be just the logo. I prefer it to be not the logo at all and just have other RGB LEDs lighting up the edges or whatever. That would be way better. If this was like, if this track right here, starting here through here, if that was RGB, that'd be cool. But just the logo, it makes me feel like a shill. I mean, they sent this to me to review. We're going to get stuff to review, gamesbeat.com. That's what we do. But just like, I don't know, when I'm playing something that has just like a light up logo, I never like it. I don't on anything. But that's just me. most people aren't going to care about. The LED RGB stuff is going to be so far down on the list of things that are the reason you make a decision to purchase something. And that's the way it should be, and that's fine. That's my opinion. Okay, so yes, that is the G502 Hero. It is, let's see here. Let's check out the details. I believe it is shipping in October worldwide for $80, $79.99. So that is, that's kind of right in that range, that $70 to $80 range, where most of these mice fall. Maybe on the slight expensive side, but it has, like I said, it has everything you're going to want. I think that an extra $10 for a mouse with a clutch is probably worth it. If you're playing a lot of shooters. So that's my opinion. That is the G502 from Logitech. Thank you for watching. Jeff Grove from GamesBeat.com. Let's go see my face one more time. Goodbye, everybody. I'll catch you next time. Thank you so much. Euro. Oh, I'm going to get a Euro. I haven't had lunch yet.